Hey, let's spend a couple more minutes before we get out of here on the new stadium announcement today. That's right, Omaha's going to have another new stadium,
another one
in the next couple of years. But since I'm afraid we probably won't have much time to dip, dive, duck, dodge, and dodge into the NFL playoffs tomorrow, I think that was right? Dodge, dip, dive, duck, dodge, and
dart.
No, because he says dodge. Patrick O'Houlihan, he says dodge twice. Two of the D's are dodge. I'm almost for sure of that. But I don't know.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Told you.
Yep. You nailed it.
Two of them were dodge. I just missed them out of order. We won't have enough time to really talk about it tomorrow. So let's just go ahead and get to the big storylines of the conference championship weekend. I think we are looking down the barrel of what would be potentially Patrick Mahomes' most impressive accomplishment.
This band of fellas,
bumbling idiots,
your words, not mine. I would never dare disrespect the Chiefs like that. On the road against some good quarterbacks. Yeah.
Getting that team to the Super Bowl. I mean, even though, and I've made the case that everything is sort of lined up for the Chiefs over the collection of the past, kind of couple months, with whether it's how it worked out with their schedule and the people that the teams that they've had to play and the timing in which they played doing what they did last week to Buffalo, who was as hot as they were, and really, I mean, they controlled things, right? Buffalo felt the necessity to really slow things down, really control clock, control the ball. Like they said, we're going to do this by not letting Patrick Mahomes touch the football at all. And guess what they did? They accomplished that. And they still lost to Patrick Mahomes, who barely had the football. It was amazing. It was a spectacle. And they really could have won by more, and they could have done more in that game. They could have recovered a fumble late. They could have not fumbled at the 1 yard line. Yeah. Like, that was as impressive. That was the most impressive NFL win that we've seen this year. And now I'm thinking about it a little bit more. Maybe Baltimore and San Francisco. That was really good.
Baltimore absolutely bludgeoned both NFC Championship competitors this year.
Yes, they did. So, I mean, it's up there. In the playoffs, on the road, that environment, those conditions, and Buffalo playing as well as they did and doing what they wanted to do as well as they did. As good as it gets, man. And so if they go back on the road and do it again in a, another sweet environment this weekend in Baltimore in a conference title game, that's just, I mean, there's no other way to say it. That is incredibly special stuff. With the wide receiver group that they have, it's Patrick Mahomes, and now this late resurgence from Travis Kelce, and the rest of the wide receiver group is just kind of steadied out enough. Rashee Rice's emergence has been great, and Pacheco high kneesing on everybody, like, and their defense is obviously really good. But obviously, I mean, it's Mahomes. It's going to get them through if they're going to win this game. This would be it. Every stat that you could throw out there, going to 6 straight AFC championship games, and now having the win on the road, doing this in back-to-back weeks against Buffalo and Baltimore would be, I mean, he'd become unassailable at that point if he isn't already.
The talk of this game is the quarterbacks, obviously, but I'm actually kind of more interested in what both defenses do in this game, because they're both top-tier defenses. In Baltimore, Mike McDonald really schemes up like just these wacky formations, and he attacks you from a multitude of different ways. So I'm interested if either offense can really get anything going on Sunday.
You like the unders, Josh? You like the undies again?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
But I definitely agree with what you're saying with Patrick Mahomes. Like, would be a hell of a run if he can get this team to the Super Bowl.
Josh doesn't like the sexy stuff. He likes the nitty gritty.
Give me the
like,
trenches.
I
Give me
like the
hog
sexy
mollies.
stuff. I want to talk about Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Remember when these two were fighting a year ago?
This is a sneaky big game for Lamar Jackson.
It is a 100% legacy game for
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson.
it sure is. So there's some pressure there on Baltimore.
Mhm.
As much as we make fun of Chiefs fans for saying, "Hey, it's us against the world," like they kind of have. They got a lot of things in their back pocket right now. I don't think anybody really expects them to win, obviously, except for themselves. And Baltimore's kind of have all the pressure on them at home. It feels like they kind of have to get off to a nice start.
There's a lot of people just sharpening pitchforks, waiting for Lamar Jackson to lose a game like this.
Yep,
just waiting.
Yep. So that's the storylines in the AFC. And then in the NFC, I mean, it's just basically what's the Lions' path to going on the road and winning this game, which seems almost impossible.
Rain?
I was going to say Jubba. Brock Purdy's hands.
Yeah.
Being too slippery.
Can you turn over Brock? Not that their defense is
I would love to
particularly great.
Like I've been so impressed by the Lions this year. But it's really difficult. It's much more difficult for me to envision a scenario in which they win that game on the road than the Chiefs winning their game on the road. It's just way harder for me to imagine. Now, there are some things for the Niners. What's Deebo Samuel's status? In the air.
Works in the favor of Detroit.
In the air at best at the moment. But they're 7-point underdogs for a reason. They completely deserve to be there. It's just, I don't know. The 49ers have warts for sure. But just matchup wise, stylistically, we talked about it with AB on Tuesday. Like Detroit has to if I'm Detroit and I win the toss, give me the ball. Matt Hasselbeck, we want the ball and we're going to score. Like, I think you have to just go.
Yeah.
Because your whole deal revolves around San Francisco getting behind, because they're a different team when they're from behind.
Make Brock Purdy throw the football.
Exactly. You put it in the hands of Brocktober. And sometimes it's not Brocktober, but sometimes it is, right? Even that's a 50-50 proposition. Like, is he good? Is he not good? We're going to have the discussion over and over again. But the fact of the matter is, it's been a little bit up and down for him in recent weeks and months. So he's the one thing on that team that's like not completely dependable. That's why he stands out, right? Running the ball and playing defense, that's all the time, baby. That's our DNA. Brock Purdy playing from behind, maybe, but also maybe not. So that's your path. And it's just a questionable proposition for me.
Can you knock them on their butt early?
Yeah.
And confuse them?
We want the ball and we're going to score.
Yeah.